Hello, it is Mac here, and today I'm going to talk about the next DLC for Battlefield Hardline called Robbery. So, Visceral put out a post on the Battlefield Hardline website, and they talk about the next DLC for Battlefield Hardline, which will be called Robbery. Now, the theme of this DLC is, doing heist, and that's kind of the main theme of this. So if you'd like to go check out the post on the Battlefield Hardline website, then I'll have a link down in the description. Now I'm going to read off of what it says. So it says, after getting organized in criminal activity, the top gangs are drawing up plans, stockpiling gear, and risking it all to pull off the boldest, craziest heist ever in Battlefield Hardline, Robbery, the second expansion pack for Battlefield Hardline. The theme of this pack is the big score, how to steal it, or how to stop it. The new maps and game mode in Battlefield Hardline Robbery are designed to let criminal teams plan and execute the perfect heist, or for law enforcement to get the crooks in cuffs before they can pull it off. Whether it's boosting jewels, double-crossing an international smuggling ring, or extracting a high-value piece of intel from a precinct locker room, teams on both sides of the law will have to pull together to make or break these epic heists. So in this DLC, we're going to be getting 4 new maps: the Docks, Breakpoint, Museum, and Precinct 7. Now, one of these they've already shown off, not only in pictures, but they also have a video on their YouTube channel, and I'll have a link down to it in the description. It's on the Battlefield YouTube channel, but it's unlisted, so the only way you can watch it is if you get a link to it. Now, Museum is, like the name suggests, set in a museum, and you have to go steal stuff from that museum. And it actually looks kind of cool, and it's a very interesting map. It's mostly interior, it looks like, so it's kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of Bank Job a little bit, and Bank Job, in my opinion, is one of the best maps in the game, so it's pretty cool, and honestly, I'm pretty excited to see that map. Now, there's also a new 5v5 game mode called Squad Heist. Now, what Squad Heist is built as a homage to the beloved Squad Rush in Battlefield 4. And what it is you have 3 distinct stages. You have criminals take a drill, break into Vault 1, and grab the loot from the vault. Then criminals have to take a drill, break into Vault 2, and grab the loot from the vault. Then criminals run to an escape location, call a helicopter, and get the loot to safety. Obviously, this will all be themed to the map. You might have to take the glass cutter and steal the blue diamond from the display case, but the basic idea stays the same. At each stage, criminals get 25 deploy tickets. If all tickets are lost, the cops will win the match. Squad Heist was a blast to develop, and we think it goes well with the new gadgets, weapons, and maps in Battlefield Hardline Robbery. Now, they do say that the Squad Rush is beloved. I don't really think of that, because I honestly don't think I've really ever played Squad Rush in Battlefield 4, because I never see any servers on it. And hopefully this game mode doesn't go the same way of Squad Rush or even Squad Deathmatch in Battlefield 4, because you almost never see those be played. Now, there's also going to be 4 new weapons. Now, I will also have a link down in the description of some of these weapons. Now, the video I'm going to link is from Danny on PC, and if you'd like to go check out all these 11 weapons, then I'll have them in the description. But he got this gameplay because he went to Gamescom, and there was 11 weapons that he got to use. Now, the weapons are the F2000, which is an assault rifle for a criminal. It's a weapon in Battlefield 4. You have the FAMAS, which is also assault and a cop weapon, and that's kind of the weapon from Battlefield 4. Which the RPK, think of kind of like the AKM, but kind of more like a light machine gun, and that's an assault weapon on the criminal faction. And then you also have the MDC. Now, I'm not actually sure what the MDC. It's an assault weapon and a cop weapon, but it honestly looks a lot like the LD5A2, like very similar. I don't know what the difference is, and the LD5A2 in this game kind of sucks. Just the stats on it aren't that great. But hopefully this weapon can actually compete. Now, we're also going to get the FN57, which is an all-kit pistol, which we don't actually have any all-kit pistols in the game, so that's kind of cool. Now, if you look at the kind of teaser image that Visceral put out, then you can see somebody holding an FN57, and it looks to be a professional, and he's of course using an FN57. We also have the Saiga 12, which is an enforcer shotgun. That weapon would probably be a semi-automatic shotgun, similar to the one in Battlefield 4 already. We have the MP7, which is an all-kit PDW. That weapon is pretty high fire rate, like the one that we saw. It's a pretty small weapon, and I'm very excited for that weapon because I think the MP7 in my opinion, is one of the best weapons in Battlefield 4, and it's a very fun weapon to use. You also have the M82.416, which is a recon weapon. Now, what this kind of is think of the 50 cal sniper battle pickup that's already in Battlefield 4. It's kind of like that. Actually, it's a lot like that, but it says that it's a recon weapon. So I don't know if this is a battle pickup or if it's actually a recon weapon. If it's a recon weapon and you can deploy with it, I think this weapon could get very, very overpowered, because we already have a lot of good snipers in the game. 300 Magnum comes to mind. That's one of the best weapons in the entire game. And I think an M82, 50 cal sniper, I don't know exactly how I feel about that. I mean, it could be OP, but I guess if they do balance it out, although Visceral hasn't really had the best track record balancing out weapons, so we'll have to see with all these weapons. There's also an M1. There's also the M1 carbine, which the M1 carbine is a weapon from World War II. It's probably going to be a semi-automatic weapon, and honestly, I am very excited for this weapon. Now, Danny on PC says it's an all-kit classic. Now, if you remember back to Criminal Activity, we got a free weapon called the M1A1. It's a Thompson. Now, that was in the DLC, and that was free to everyone. So what I'm thinking is this weapon could be free to everyone too, because it is a weapon from World War II, and it is a, more classic weapon, and kind of a little bit of a gimmick, but could also be pretty good, because we don't really have many semi-automatic weapons, so it's probably going to be similar to the DMRs already, which, personally, I do really like the DMRs in this game, so we'll have to see what that is. Now, there's also an engineer PDW called the Scorpion. That's basically a CZ3A1. Now, there's also something that's a little unique for this, and that's called the throwing knife. Now, it's an all-kit grenade. It looks to be an insta-kill. Kind of reminds me of the, throwing knives from Call of Duty. So, I'm not exactly sure how I feel about them. I mean, they could get a little OP, but they do look like they do have to take a bit of skill, and you do have to give up your grenades for that, so just keep that in mind. Now, those are 11 weapons. Now, it seems like all of these weapons will be included in this DLC. So, Zach Mumbach, who's a multiplayer producer on Battlefield Hardline, he replied to Westy, and he said that all of the guns will be in the DLC Pack 2. Community said more guns. We're putting as many as we can in each pack. So that's actually pretty nice. We're going to be getting all of these weapons. At first, I thought some of these weapons weren't going to be included, because, I mean, 11 in a DLC, that's a lot. But yeah, it kind of, makes sense. And I'm actually very glad that they are going to be putting these weapons in the game, because I personally really do like the weapons. I do like, the idea of all these weapons that we are getting. But hopefully this isn't the case where, the weapons are bad. I don't want them to be not competitive. I hope that, they can get the weapon balance down, because as of right now, the weapon balance isn't all that great. But hopefully, this isn't too many weapons. Hopefully these weapons are all viable. Now, who knows if any of these weapons will be free, or all of them will be included in the X Pack 2. Now, maybe all of them will be behind a paywall for Robbery, but I think some of them may be free. Maybe like the M1 carbine, that weapon seems like it would probably be free. So there's also going to be 2 new gadgets. I don't know what those gadgets are going to be. We're also going to get 2 new factional vehicles and new vehicle upgrades. I don't know how that's going to work out with heist stuff, because of course, from what we've seen already, these maps don't really look to have any vehicles, especially Museum. It doesn't look to have any vehicles at all, so we have to see what those factional vehicles are and new vehicle upgrades. We're also going to get new camos and vehicle paints and the legendary super feature. Now, what I'm pretty sure the legendary super feature is kind of like a prestige feature where, you can, once you get to level 150 and you're a premium member, I think what you can do is reset your stats or something like that. We don't know too much information on that. Also, this DLC will be coming out for premium members in September 2015. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Are you excited for this DLC? Did you like Criminal Activity? Let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoy. Feedback is pushing. I'll see you guys in the next video.